Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to do a cheeky Tuesday ramble. It was going to be a Monday ramble, but then I had massive technical issues yesterday, which required me to reinstall everything. Which is just the way I like my Mondays to go. That's a complete lie. It's very irritating, but it's fine. Let's dive in to the previews for the pre-orders for next week. And you can probably tell from the article here, it's all about them, their Soulblight Gravelords. And you know what? There's some surprising stuff in here. I'll be honest. I hadn't expected at least one of these things to show up as quickly as it has. So we have just a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch. We've got the Battle Tome. Of course, that's going to be available as ebook, hardback, limited edition, the usual. To be honest, putting them side by side, the limited edition ones really don't seem... I don't know, they just don't seem all that, like, special anymore? Is that an unfair thing to say? I think because it's not, like, different art, it's kind of starting to lose its luster for me. It's starting to feel a bit like, yeah, there's only 700 of them, but it looks exactly the same as the other one. It's just not got as much text on the front. It's not quite got the same feel as like fancy exclusive artwork. But it is there if you want it, and admittedly, not having the white spine and the text being that much smaller does make the art look better. So it's a thing you can do if you like. We've also got the new kits for the Death Rattle Skeletons and the Deadwalker Zombies. This is a good looking kit. Like both the zombies and the skeletons look really good. The zombies, we've said before, they benefit so much from not having, like, every one of them having the coffin lid and grave marker situation that the Cursed City ones do. I've yet to put my Cursed City ones together. When I do, I'm going to be chopping off a bunch of the stuff on them, just because this is a nicely varied unit, right? This is a unit that looks like, it looks good. There's a good amount of variety, there's some repeated poses, yeah, but it's not to the same level as every single one of them is doubled over with something heavy on their back. They've gone a different way for these. They have something that differentiates them from, you know, your kind of traditional, I'd say stereotypical zombies in the form of these, like, roots that are growing through, which I've seen a few people say, like, how do the roots grow through the bodies, like, so quickly before, like, the bodies have decomposed? Surely they would decompose before the roots grow that big. I've just assumed that it's some weird magic thing. Perhaps it's a corrupted tree that grows quickly and goes straight through bodies to get nutrients, something like that. It's a weird undead fantasy land. I'm pretty sure that you can explain it away if you really want to. For me, they just look cool. They look a little bit different, a little bit unique. There is the occasional repeated section, but by and large, I think this is a really solid kit again. I think it's fair to say that even the ones that have a repeated pose, there's enough customization, or at least there's enough kind of individual stuff that you can attach to them that, while the pose might be similar, the overall silhouette is at least a little bit different from zombie to zombie, which is a nice thing to see. My only issue with the Death Rattle Skeletons is the fact that it's replacing the old Death Rattle Skeleton kit, which is a solid kit. I love that kit. I have got one still untouched, which I'm going to be using to make more Undead Tree Sylvaneth guys, but in a way I'm going to be sorry to see that kit go, because it's a solid source of extras. It's a solid source of, like, just, well, plain old skeletons. It's a really good source for that, which I know is probably very obvious to you, but it's the fact that these don't have, like, just bare skeleton sections. They're all armoured. They all have a bit of cloth, they have a bit of armour, whether it's greaves, a breastplate, you know, they have so much more on them than the old Death Rattle Skeleton kits, where you could get just a ribcage, just a set of legs, just a pair of arms, with no adornments, nothing extra, no armour. It was really good for that, so I'm going to miss that kit, to be honest, but that being said, these guys look great. They do have, like, a personality of their own. They are still, you know, recognisably skeleton warriors, but they just have an extra flair that the old kit didn't have. They look crisper, the detail is nicer, the actual bones themselves that you can see, you know, under the armour and, like, poking through and stuff, just have a higher level of detail to my eye, so it's overall definitely an upgrade, but the old kit does have its uses, and it will be missed. Now, along with them, we've got the Fell Bats, which I'm still not all that bothered about, to be honest. They're fine, they just don't really do all that much for me. And the Blood Knights, which I really, really like. I really like the Blood Knights. I did realise, as I was looking through the article earlier, preparing to do the video, how long has that one on the left had a weird skull just, like, sat in their hair? It's such a weird choice. It's such a weird choice. I don't understand what... It stands out so badly as soon as... Like, once you notice it, I just don't think it fits all that well. All the others have got these really cool helms. You know, with the wings sweeping back. It matches the armour really nicely, and it's such a nice, cohesive-looking unit with some really good details. Overall, they look absolutely amazing. But then you just got one of them, the one with the banner's just got a random skull on their head. And it just looks so weird and off compared to... It doesn't look scary weird or like disturbing weird. It just... Why is it there? What's it doing there? Everything else is so good, is the thing. Everything else is so good on this unit. I still feel like I would have preferred the red of the armour that the riders are wearing to be a bit more toned down. In a weird way, I think it almost... I suppose it doesn't clash, because it's still just varying shades of red, the armour on the horses and on the riders, but there's just something about it that doesn't quite sit right with me. This is definitely one of those units where if I wasn't going to maybe not do them the same colour, but I would probably choose one of the sets of armour, be it on the horse or on the riders, to be just a different colour. Whether it's like a dull metallic colour, where the horses have black armour and the riders have red armour, just something not quite the same that they have there. It just doesn't work for me personally, but I can see why you would. It's just not my thing, the way that it's been painted. Now we also have this Vampire Lord. I'm going back and forth on the bats in the hair. Overall, I do like that model, but I'm going back and forth on the bats in the hair. The thing that surprises me, however, is this. I really didn't expect her to be out this early. I really didn't. So this is I've forgotten how to pronounce her name. It's gone. It's totally gone. I don't even know if I got it right the first time. Lauka Vi? Sure. Lauka Vi? The Mother of Nightmares. Much easier to just say that. So, as they say, a fateful encounter with the magics of Tzeentch saw her transformed into a raging beast. I really like this model still. I know it's a bit contentious. I know that there are opinions either side of the fence. I do think it being like weird Tzeentchian magic that's transformed her kind of gives it a different slant slightly. I think that makes it a bit easier, perhaps, to accept the kind of bolted on nature of like where the waist meets the shoulders in terms of the upper torso and the lower torso. I think it just being like weird magic shenanigans gone wrong, or Tzeentch being a bit of a trickster, as they are wont to do, kind of smooths the transition in a sense, narratively, if not model-wise. But I still really like it. I still really like it because it's so weird and so wrong. I will admit that a few people said they'd prefer it if it was blended a bit better, if there was some armour on that lower torso. That might help it quite a bit for them. And you know what? I do agree with that. I think having a bit of armour on that lower half would probably smooth it out a lot better and would ease the transition. It wouldn't be quite so jarring. But, I mean, at the core of it, I just still really love this model. I really like it. It's so creepy and weird and unsettling, and it looks like it shouldn't exist, and I'm absolutely here for that kind of thing. That's my thing. So yeah, I'm surprised she is going to be up for pre-order so early. And, it's, in a way, it's kind of gutting, because if it's anything like other releases, she's going to go out of stock instantly. It's going to take ages for another one to come in, and I can't get her this month. I do not have the hobby budget to get her this month, which is gutting, because I want it, but I'm being responsible and not, because we had to have a bunch of trees cut down in our back garden, and that is bloody expensive, it turns out. Anyway, so yeah, we've got the cards and so on, although I don't recall what happened to, did the Daughters of Kane ever get their War Scroll cards? I don't know that they did they? I can't remember. I feel like they didn't. Got some dice. Again, nice simple dice. Black dice, red dots with the symbol where the 6 should be. Nice one. Keep it up. I'm really liking the fact we've left the unreadable garbage dice trend behind. That's very nice. Because it just bugs me every time. But yeah, we've also got Adeptus Titanicus. We've got the Bellicosa Volcano Cannon for the Warbringer Nemesis. Still got an ugly face. I'm sorry, I just don't like that style of helmet on the Titans. It's just not for me. Overall cool though. And we've also got some more Black Library stuff. We've got Git Slayer, which wins the award for Best Book Title of 2021. I realise that we have some considerable time left, but unless there's going to be another book that is based around the word Git, I don't really see anything else winning. Unless we have Git Slayer 2 Return of the Git or something like that, I mean this one wins. Git Slayer, excellent title. We also have some nice vampire novels. We have the Vampire Counts Omnibus, and we also have A Dynasty of Monsters, which I may well grab that one actually. I want to know more about the Mother of Nightmares because she's class. Excellent cover art as well there. Really nice cover art. I like that. Nice. And finally, for White Dwarf, we have got Index Hereticus: The Fallen. Nice old picture of Luther on the front there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to flicking through that and seeing what we get. Should be interesting. Should be very interesting, that. And finally, there's a whole bunch of synthetic brushes. So if you're not a fan of the old animal product brushes, then these are 100% synthetic ones. That's what they are. All white, and again, be available for pre-order next weekend if that sort of thing tickles your fancy. I have to admit, I've never really got on with Games Workshop brushes in a way. When I was using them the most, I didn't care about painting or getting better at painting, and then I went through a stage of just getting like the cheapest ones and found that the cheapest ones from Games Workshop just didn't really seem worth the money compared to the cheapest ones from, say, like Amazon or whatever. And then I tried some of the more expensive ones, but at that point I was already doing stuff with Artis Opus, and they'd already sent me a bunch of their brushes, and so the Games Workshop ones just didn't feel as nice as the Artis Opus ones. So if this is your thing, then go for it. Not personally something I'm that interested in, but I know there are plenty of people out there who prefer synthetic, and so I mean, more alternatives. As we say constantly, more choice, never bad. And that's about it. That is, in fact, all of it. Let's go back. You know what? We won't stop on her, because I know that there is a little bit of discussion as to whether we like her or not. I was going to stick on that one, but then she also has got the bats, which is a point of contention. Let's do the Blood Knights. I think we can agree the Blood Knights look solid, right? I think we can agree on that. They look nice. They look good. Is there anything among that lot you are planning on picking up when they go for pre-order next week? Is there anything that you really don't like or anything that you're massively excited about? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click it if you don't want to. And as always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. I leave it in your capable hands. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.